yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain, can I kick it? Things ain't been the same, things have changed, can I kick it? People acting different, so I ask, can I?
Hey, could count on my power, hey, look at my dogs from me. It was way back then, could claim what you saw, but you weren't with us. The higher the climb, the harder the fall, but how did you get up? I done got rich and went broke, then got rich again, just a little hiccup. I done been ballin' this pickup. Remember me being so bummy and being so hungry, I had to eat gristle. Ay, how did you let it go miss? Ay, how she was magic, she mixed. Met her at one of the functions, we caught her the rhythm, she caught up a friend, they kissed and we dipped it, and that's how we kicked it.
Let me explain what I did, can I kick it? Hold on, yeah, I got some rings and a range, can I kick it? Yeah, don't ask me a thing, how I got her, how I did it, yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain, can I kick it? Things ain't been the same, things have changed, can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked, can I? Before I went live, they know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Wait, need a light here just to catch my buzz. Need Sprite here just to catch my cup. Now they don't really talk about us. Now they don't really talk about us.
Today, from London, England, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the London Black Knights taking on Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the London Black Knights. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Taken about 7 yards deep. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The first carry now for Benny Snell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory.
Deontay Johnson.
A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, takes the starch right out of him.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the defense will get their hands on it. Going the other way. The 30, 10, 5, and he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown.
Touchdown, London.
A big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
Midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. This is Edwards. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a former most valuable player in the National Football League, the always dangerous Lamar Jackson.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 127 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down, but before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 11 in addition to moving the chains.
That's a 48-yard.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
The pickup there and also a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Ball carrier.
If you're a football guy, leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
Dobbins again. The ball.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. His kick early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early and give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
At their own 25-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Second and 6.
Now a second down at 6. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Knights 14. Steelers nothing.
On second down, it's Edwards. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taken in at the 22. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance, it's run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
He was brought down by Bud.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. Now loose football. The ball comes out.
That's good.
So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll run here with Dobbins. The 20. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 9. 36 yards on the play.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
They'll run with Dobbins, and he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask moves him closer, and now 1st and goal. Going to give this time to tailback. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
Holding. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back?
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
On 2nd down, it's Snell. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, the 1st down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it left side to Johnson. 20! And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Oh, now Miller slow in getting up. He's still down on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Eric Ebron. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive Now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. London about set to take over on offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. 2nd and 10, here's Jackson again. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be out right at the 35. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Dix on the coverage.
to throw again. Jackson back to Brown, this time complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 45-yard line. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. His throw is incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Complete. Quentin Dix on the coverage.
Throwing again. Jackson steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it, and he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
3rd and 6.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Quick slant to Brown. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. First now, another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10. At their own 25-yard line.
Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Now the Steelers use... the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Down, it's Roethlisberger. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger, throw left side complete. That's Watkins. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. 3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Intended for Benny Snell. Incomplete. Rings up 4th.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Taken in the end zone. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll go again with Dobbins. He gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He was tackled.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now they try the right side here. Now he's stripped. He lost the football.
The running back, the ball carrier.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he hits him in stride. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Dobbins, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Ball carrier.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
From the gun, Jackson. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Roethlisberger. Johnson with a completion over the middle. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, 76 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he... He's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in for the touchdown. Marquise Brown, 81 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
Black Knights 42, Steelers 14.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Tackle made.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
And a Steeler 1st down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now Jackson. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
He was brought down at the...
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defensive.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Justin
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down.
A gain of
33 yards that time.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and he's into the clear. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Tucker now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got Jack Doyle. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And unable to connect. It's incomplete. And the clock stopped at 8 seconds. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Looking for the end zone. And be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
10-10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside